Hey, what's up? I'm back. Here we are in Toronto, Condo City. There are two things you see in Toronto these days: condos and lawless, non-tax-paying, car-hating cyclists. You see them everywhere. Which brings me to the question, are bike lanes getting in the way of the construction of these new condos? Not at all. In fact, they appreciate the extra room for concrete trucks and construction materials. Now, I want to assure everybody I am not riding a bicycle in these shots. In fact, I'm driving a car in the bike lane. We're building about 20,000 condo units a year. And again, if you want to see, just to prove it, here's a bike lane. I'll stop, I'll pull over. No one's even riding in it. There's not, well, there's that one guy and those two, but that is it. Other than him and that lady and that guy and him and that other lady and this guy. But that and these, okay, there may be a few people riding bikes in Toronto, but not too many. The majority of these new builds in Toronto are condos. In fact, over the past year, we built about 20,000 units per year, which is the average. Now, half of these units, 50% of them, are being bought up by investors who rent them at highly affordable rates to locals. Now, by the way, I don't know if you know, but as a foreign investor, you don't pay capital gains on condos. So you can buy 5 condos in Toronto, wait a couple of years, sell them, and then make millions of dollars and pay no tax, which I think is a good deal. And the other thing is, oh, here we are. This is the one. You can see that 70-story thing at Yonge Bloor, but the one is going up, which is going to cost about $1 billion. And I'm sure will benefit, the profits will benefit the locals very much. But we're building these 20,000 units a year, while at the same time we built about 1,700 rental units for the average Joe in Toronto. And there are 170,000 families waiting for affordable housing. And they're waiting about 4 years on average, but you know, we don't want them to get in our way. I'm not too worried about them. I'm sure they'll be fine. Meanwhile, we're selling condo units like at Shangri-La for $28 million, which really, frankly, is a bargain. In fact, I would take 2. And here we're building a condo next to another condo across the street from another condo. And how many tax breaks and tax loopholes do developers, real estate speculators, and foreign investors need? Well, lots, I think. Regular people, they can pay the taxes to make up for it. And I don't know if you know, but these real estate developers are actually, I'm pretty sure they're lawless cyclists, because they pay cash in lieu of community benefits fees. Like in the case of the one, they're paying $21.9 million to the city to break the rules to make it higher and denser than it should be, which I think is fine. Has anybody noticed that we already have 5 million people and there are only 2 subway lines in the city? I guess all the new condo owners will just drive cars anyways. What could possibly go wrong? It makes sense to me to double the downtown population with no added infrastructure, don't you think? No other hospitals, schools, fire, police, roads, transit, parks. It's all just gravy that people don't really need anyways. And you can see, things are moving along fine down here on Spadina as it is. You'd think a city like Toronto would be designed around people who are actually living here. But that's overly complicated, I guess. Well, to sum it up, build a bunch of condos for people who don't want to live in them, make the developers, real estate speculators, and foreign investors rich while avoiding paying taxes, while regular bike-riding people in the city who actually live here can't really afford to do so. Makes sense to me. The lake used to be down there somewhere. It's beyond those buildings, I think. You just can't see it anymore.